In the age of surveillance capitalism, memory is no longer sacred. It is harvested, commodified, and traded, not in dusty archives or family albums, but in invisible auctions run by algorithms. Every click, scroll, and pause becomes a data point. Every emotion, a product. This essay explores the eerie reality of the memory market, a metaphorical and literal space where personal histories are bought and sold, often without consent or awareness. Coined by Harvard professor Shoshana Zuboff, surveillance capitalism refers to the economic system where personal data is extracted and monetized by corporations. Unlike traditional capitalism, which profits from goods and services, surveillance capitalism profits from behavioral surplus, the traces we leave behind online. Companies like Google and Facebook generate billions by predicting and influencing user behavior through data mining. Alphabet, Google's parent company, derived 89% of its revenue from targeted advertising as early as 2016. Fitness apps like Fitbit and Strava collect health data that can be sold to insurers or used in research. These practices have transformed personal data into a raw material, memory into merchandise. The memory market is not a literal bazaar, but a conceptual framework for understanding how digital memories, photos, messages, searches, even emotions, are commodified. Key mechanisms: behavioral data collection. Every interaction online is logged, analyzed, and stored. Predictive algorithms. AI models use past behavior to forecast future actions. Emotional engineering. Platforms curate content to evoke specific emotional responses, which are then monetized. In a room with no walls, a child's laughter is sold to the highest bidder. This poetic metaphor captures the essence. Your memories are not just stored, they are traded. Several academic and technical studies have documented this phenomenon. Julian Wallace's thesis at the University of Arizona outlines how personal behavioral data is commodified, leading to privacy erosion and constrained choice. Anthony Medeiros et al., Pucci Rio, revealed how web traffic analysis exposes the depth of data harvesting, including emotional and behavioral patterns. Springer's comparative study shows how private data collection differs from state surveillance, but both threaten autonomy and dignity. These sources confirm that the commodification of memory is not speculative. It is systemic. 1. Loss of identity. When memories are curated by algorithms, individuals lose control over their narrative. Platforms like Facebook's On This Day feature repackaged nostalgia, often distorting emotional truth. 2. Behavioral manipulation. Data-driven platforms don't just reflect memory, they reshape it. By nudging users towards specific content, they influence future behavior, creating feedback loops of emotional conditioning. 3. Privacy erosion. The sale of personal data to third parties, advertisers, insurers, even governments, means that intimate memories are accessible to strangers with profit motives. 4. Democratic threats. As Zuboff warns, surveillance capitalism undermines democracy by eroding the private sphere and manipulating public opinion. Despite its pervasiveness, there are movements pushing back. Data sovereignty initiatives, advocating for user ownership of personal data. Privacy-centric platforms. Tools like Signal and DuckDuckGo offer alternatives to data-hungry giants. Legislation, GDPR in Europe and CCPA in California aim to regulate data collection and empower users. Yet these efforts are often fragmented and underfunded compared to big tech's influence. The memory market is not just a conspiracy, it is a poetic truth wrapped in technical reality. It asks us to reconsider what it means to remember, to be known, and to be free. In Gravelen's cinematic language, it is a descent into the digital underworld, where echoes of our past are traded like coins and the soul becomes a dataset. If your childhood could be bought, would you want to know who owns it?